Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Custom Carving and Epoxy UK. I hope you're all doing well. Bit of an experiment again today with the standard jewellery moulds that you've seen me use on lots of videos, but I wanted to try something different to Petrie, something different to the usual effects that you see on this channel. So I've seen a few coaster videos with the Larimar effect, and I wanted to see if I can get it in a pendant. So all I've done so far, I've mixed up just over 2 ounces of resin, put it in the debubbling machine to get it crystal clear like that. And then I'm going to mix up some white, pretty much the same as I do with my blooms with this ocean white. Mix up some different colours with sort of transparent colours with these resin dyes from Let's Resin. So I've got purple there, I've got blue, I've got a really bright fluorescent yellow. I don't know if it'll stay that colour. And I've got a red. So I'm going to just see what effects I can get with those 4 colours. And see if I can try and get something that at least resembles the Larimar effect in these pendants. Now, I have cleaned the moulds. I have sprayed them with a little bit of silicone release spray like I always do. But the first thing I'm going to do is mix up, not quite half, but a pot full of white. So I'm going to pour the resin in. I'm pretty much 3/4 of the way full there, which leaves me with just under, I would say, just over 1.5 ounces left of resin there. And then I'm just going to put 2 drops of this ocean white in. 1, 2. I've been storing it upside down, and since I've done that, it doesn't like to drop. It kind of drizzles out. So again, any tips on how to store it, let me know. Look at that, by storing it upside down, it just wants to ooze out, and I don't want that. Ideally I want it to drop, so maybe don't store it upside down. I saw it on somebody else's channel, thought it was a good idea, but then it just oozes out rather than drops out. So there we go. But just going to mix this same as I would do if I was doing a bloom, trying to get it reasonably opaque, but not fully. I'll still want to be able to just about see through it, I think. Otherwise, I don't think this will work. And I think that's enough. I can still just about see the stick underneath, but it's still a nice opaque colour. And then what I'm going to do is pour this in to the different moulds that I'm going to try and use. So this one, I think I'm probably going to go about 1/3 of the way with this. That one. That one. I think the hearts will look pretty cool as well. If the effect works, that is. That one. Heart. Again, trying to go about 1/3 of the way is the plan. And again, I don't know if this is going to work. It's my first time experimenting. I've not even done the Larimar effect in a coaster yet. So if I can get it to work in these, I'll be very happy. And I think the key is, I think you need a good dose of the white, but then your colours have to be transparent as well to try and get that effect. And I'm hoping I'm going to have enough resin to do all of these. And I say, it's just a play around, so it might work, it might not, who knows. But that's one of the things I love to do with resin, is just have a play about and see if we can get different effects. There we go. So hopefully I'm going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 different pendants out of this little experiment. I hope. So always remember to wipe your sticks, then you can just use them again next time. Makes life a lot easier when it comes to cleaning up. I'm just going to get a fresh wipe actually, because some of that white has gone over my gloves. I don't want that to ruin any effect that we might get. So now I'm going to split this resin reasonably evenly into 4 separate pots, hopefully. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm just using these cheap disposable ones, and I'm going to try and pour the remainder of the resin into those pots. I think I'll get about half a pot of each. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just eyeballing it, and if I've got any spare left at the end, I can always fill another mould, hopefully. And that was actually a pretty good guess. So they're all just under halfway full. And then I'm going to add probably just a couple of drops to start with of these resin dyes from Let's Resin. And they're not alcohol inks, these are the actual resin dyes. So 2 drops in that one. That is the purple. 2 drops of the blue. And again, we can always add more if we need to. 2 drops of the yellow, maybe 3 of the yellow because it is a more transparent colour, and 2 of the red. In fact, that ended up being 4 just because otherwise I think it's going to be very pink. Then I'm just going to mix these up and literally, hopefully pour them in and see what happens. So this is that purple. Now that, to me, is a little bit too transparent. So I'm actually going to add a few more drops. I want it to be transparent, but I want it to still show the colour once it's done. So probably, that was about 3 drops I think came out at once. And again, it's not particularly dark, but you can see the purple. So I'm happy with that. Then the blue. I've just realised I've not got enough sticks out, but I'll have to get another one in a minute. And that's a lovely blue colour. And obviously, whatever colours you use, they're probably going to go lighter when they mix with the white anyway. So just remember that when you're mixing your colours, you probably want them a little bit darker than you actually think you want them. And this red, I think, is definitely going to need some more drops because I can virtually not see the red. There we go, that's another 4 of those. Hopefully we'll get a slightly deeper colour now. And again, yeah, it still doesn't seem very dark. That's had about 8 drops, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm not happy with that as a colour. Not very dark at all. What I might do actually, and again this is just an experiment, is just add a couple of drops of alcohol ink to that. Just because I don't like how transparent that is. I know you're meant to go transparent with your colours, but I don't like it being that transparent for me. So I'm just going to add a couple of drops of Sagittite Red, which is an alcohol ink. Again, I don't know if that'll make a difference or not. And actually, I'm going to do the same for my yellow, because that yellow looks very, very light. So if I can find my yellow alcohol ink as well, I'm going to add a couple of drops of lemon yellow to that. And then this way we can experiment as well, because we can see if adding the alcohol inks makes a difference to the resin dye. and if either of them work or none of them work. So just going to mix those up again, and that's a bit better, a bit deeper colour. Not too much, it's still very transparent. You can still see through it, which is I think the whole point of this Larimar effect, is you've got to still be able to see through. And as I say, it's my first time doing this, so whether we'll get an effect or not, I don't know. So that's my colours mixed. Now I'm just going to pour it from the centre into the moulds that I want. So this heart, I'm to completely fill it and then just leave it. I'm going to do one of these, in fact, yeah, leave that heart there. I'm going to do one of the hearts purple. And then over here I might as well do a yellow heart and a blue heart. I just hope I've got enough resin here. Okay. And then I think the blue, I'm going to start off with this one. What I might do with a couple of these actually is try a couple of different colours and see if we get a different effect from doing it that way. So that one's had blue. This one can have purple to start with. One of these big ovals can have red. And as I say, it's either going to work or it isn't. Let me know in comments if you think this is going to work. Personally, I don't think I've mixed up enough resin, but we'll see how we go. Well, that is the yellow pretty much gone. So maybe I should have mixed up a little bit more resin. But we'll see, we'll carry on and see what, if any, effects we actually get. So I can add a little bit of red to these. Again, just to see if I get a different effect, you never know. Again, trying to do it in the center so that I'm filling these molds. And that is the yellow and the red pretty much gone. Right, purple, I think. Purple. Bit of purple in this one. And in this one. And that is the end of the purple. So you don't have to completely fill them, but I think for the effect to work, it'd be better if they are full rather than not. And then I've just got the blue left, so finish topping these up with the blue. And we'll see if this actually works. And then I want a couple of drops just in here. Let's see if that makes any difference in the effect, if we get the effect. Yeah, let me know in comments what you think. Will this work? Will it create any kind of Larimar effect? Or will we just have a blobby mess or a white piece at the end of it? I don't know, but it was just a quick fun experiment. I've seen the Larimar effect a few times, never tried it myself, so I thought let's try and do it a little bit differently. Let's see if I can get it in a pendant. I'm just going to go around and put some drops of this in as well. See if that creates any different effect. Probably won't, but we will find out tomorrow. So that is as much as I can scrape out of there. I can probably scrape a tiny bit of this purple out. I'm going to do the same with one of these hearts. Again, I think I can get a drop in the center of that one. And worst case scenario, I think what will happen is we'll just get them pretty much completely covered on the front in white, which is not the effect I'm after. I want some form of Larimar effect, but we'll see. Got a tiny bit of this yellow left. Again, just going to try and dip some of that in the middle of these. And I don't know whether this will work or whether it won't, but it's a fun little experiment. And one of the things I love to do with resin is just play with it and see what, if any, different effects we get from just experimenting. And I've got a tiny bit of this red left as well, so I might drop that in these hearts and just see. If that creates a different effect. That's if we get the Larimar effect at all. At the minute, I don't know if we will. Very hard to tell from the back. And again, maybe I left that bloom white to settle a little bit too long. I don't know. But it looks like it's doing something. There we go. That is all of that resin used up. And I hope we've got 10 pendants to have a look at tomorrow. But now I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to back them. Not going to do anything else until demold tomorrow. And we'll see if we've got any effects in there, whether we've got Larimar effect or not. Or whether we've got something completely different. We'll find out tomorrow. See you then. Here we go, guys. It is the next day. So looking at the back of these, I've got a cool effect on the back, so that's a good start. I'm just hoping that we've got some form of Larimar effect on the front. So I'm going to start off with these hearts. I love the backs. Kind of got that sort of wispy white effect. The front is pretty much white, so I think maybe by filling it a third, there wasn't enough pressure to fully spread that white out and leave the colour. This side it's worked. I'm just hoping that's not the case with all of them, but we will see. No, again, it's the same. I mean, they're still pretty nice. Cool effect on this side. But unfortunately, it's not the effect I was going for. So I think I'm going to have to try this again with a less concentrated white. But I still like the effect on the top, so it's not a complete failure. But it wasn't what I was going for, and you can just see where it started to try around the edges. But not the effect I was going for. Let's see if it's any different in these big circles. I'm guessing not. No, completely white on that side. Although that's kind of cool, it's like a little wave. But just goes to show not every project works. This one, oh, that was really close. You look, you can see where it was just breaking up at the sides. So actually this one was really close. I'm thinking we need to go in with either a more transparent white next time or a thinner layer. Again, this one, look at how close that is on the edge. So almost got there. But I am going to play with this again. I think by using a more transparent white and not as opaque, it will work, because again on this one, just around the edges you can see where it tried to create that Larimar effect. So bit of a failure, but you don't know unless you try these things. Again, these big ovals, just looks like around the edges it tried to do it, but hasn't worked. Didn't get the Larimar effect this time, so I am going to play around with it again later on. And as I say, use a more translucent white, because look, again, you can see it's really tried around that edge, but then you've still got that solid center. I love that effect on this side though. That is stunning. But yeah, I think maybe use a more transparent white and maybe use a little bit less of it. Again, that one looks amazing that way around. I think I'm probably going to end up doming that and actually still keeping that as a piece. But wasn't the effect we were going for, but you have to keep experimenting with resin until you get things right, and then once you've got it, you know how to do it. But again, look at that side. I think that's my favourite piece for that side. So unfortunately, it hasn't worked this time. Trying to get the Larimar effect in these pendants, but I will give it another go using a less opaque white and see if we can make it work that way. But I hope you've liked the content, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as well, because it makes a huge difference if you haven't already. And let me know, have you been able to get the Larimar effect right in pendants rather than coasters? If you have, let me know in comments and we can give it a try together. But I'll see you on the next one.